the last class, okay? In the last class, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, we discussed about scalar and vector quantity, right? So scalar quantity
Yes, sir.
is one in which only the magnitude is enough to express it, right? And the vector quantity
Yes,
is
sir.
where you need
Yes. Has
and the direction, okay? Now,
yeah.
give
Yes.
example that distance, it is a scalar quantity.
Yeah. And displacement is vector quantity.
It is a vector quantity. Today we will try to understand why. They both
Okay.
mean almost the same thing, right?
Olgada.
Yeah, you're right.
Scalar quantity
Yes.
and why displacement is a vector quantity. Okay, inshallah, we will try to understand today. Now, let us say you have an object over here, and I told you, let us say I tell Marwa that displace it by 5 meters. Okay, so you have to move the object by 5 meters. You know the distance, how much distance you have to move, right? That is,
Yeah.
you didn't ask me for any direction, right? So this is
Yeah.
scalar. But when
Yes.
when you are about to move this one or displace this one, that time, you know, you will ask me, sir, in which direction you want me to move it? Whether you want me to move
Yeah, that's
it in the right direction, left direction, up direction, or down direction. Okay, so there is a question.
yeah.
I'm about to displace it. Displacement. A question arises in which direction the displacement is occurring. Okay, so that is why displacement, it is a vector quantity. With another
Yeah.
example, we can explain it. Let us say somebody said that I ran 100 meters from my house. Okay, from the gate of my house, I ran 100 meters. Somebody said. So you know that what is the distance he has covered. What is the distance he has covered? You know the 100 meter he has covered. But if I ask you position now, okay, let us say this is his house, and he said that from his house he has ran 100 meter. So the distance is 100 meter. We are satisfied with the magnitude when we are talking about the distance. So distance is scalar quantity. But now if I ask you what is the position, everyone please mute yourself. Okay. So what is the position of that boy now? If you want to find out the position of that boy, you must know he ran 100 meter in which direction. He go in the north direction, sorry, east direction or south. Which direction he went in order to locate him, right? Whether he is 100 meter at, let us say this is 100. So if he went to the east direction, he will be here. If he went to the north direction, he will be here. If he went to the west direction, he will be here. And if he went to the south direction, he will be here. Right? So question of direct occurs when I want to know the exact position. Right? Okay, so we can give, you know, so many more examples. Let us say I'm talking to a person. Okay, I'm talking to one of my friend, and that friend is coming to meet me. So I have to tell him my location. So how can I tell him? I can tell him that I'm standing beside Dasman Center. Okay, so Dasman
Yes.
is the reference point with which I'm expressing my point. Okay, my location. So if I say that I am 50 meter, I am at 50 meter distance from the Dasman Center. So this 50 meter is the distance between me and the Dasman Center. Okay, so this is distance.
Yeah.
No magnitude required. Sorry, no direction required, only the distance. But if
Yes.
he wants to locate me exactly where I am, I must tell him I am at 50 meter distance from the Dasman Center to the east, to the west, to the north, or to the south.
So.
He will be able to locate it, right? Okay.
Yes. Yes, sir.
That there is a question of direction arises when we are talking about displacement, right? Now let us try to define them. Let us try to define them. Okay. Before I write the definition, I would like to explain it through a diagram. Okay. Let us say this is a point A, and this is a point B. Okay. Now, a person can travel from A to B in so many ways. In so many ways. He can go directly from A to B in the direct path. that direct path is also called the perpendicular path. Please always remember from now on, okay? The shortest distance, the shortest distance between any 2 points is also called the perpendicular distance. I guess my marker ink is getting faded. So can you still see or read what I wrote on the board?
Yes, sir.
We can see, sir.
Shortest distance between
Any
any 2 points
points
also
is
called
called
a perpendicular
the
distance.
perpendicular distance.
Yeah, the shortest distance between any 2 points is also called the perpendicular distance. So a person can travel from A to B directly, that is along the perpendicular distance or the shortest distance. Okay. Now he may travel from A to B in this way also.
Yes. Yes.
The path.
We can.
Yes.
What do you think? In both the case, the distance will be same or not?
No, sir.
No.
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 The distance will vary, right? This is
Yeah.
Yes.
distance, the least distance. Any other path that he will take will be greater than this distance, right? So if he goes
Yes.
part, we can say that he has covered more distance, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So from here, we can derive this point that distance depends on the path taken. So which path you choose, distance covered will depend on that. Very important. This will come for 2-mark question. Okay, whatever I'm explaining now, this might come for 2 mark. Okay, you have to explain that why distance depend on path and displacement doesn't. Okay, so this is the
Okay, sir.
it depends on the path taken. The total path covered, that is distance. But what about displacement? Let me change my marker. This wait a minute. So we understood what distance is, but what is displacement? I will write the definition on the board. Okay, now let us go through the definition of displacement. The direct distance between the initial and final point of a journey. Okay, so if a person goes from A to B, does not matter what path he takes. He is going from A to B only, right? A is the
Yeah.
B is the final point. The direct distance between them, it is fixed. If I say that the distance
Yes.
is 5 kilometers, that means does not matter which path you take. You may go, like this. Okay.
Anyway.
What is the initial point of your journey? A. What is the final point of your journey? B. What is
B.
from A to B? The direct distance.
5.
It is
Yeah.
5 kilometers. So displacement will always be 5 kilometers until the point A and B are fixed. It does not depend on which path you take. Okay. Distance will change depending on the path that you have taken. If you take a longer path, the distance will be more, but the displacement will always be the same. If you keep this 2-point fixed, you are traveling from A to B. One person went straight, his displacement is 5 kilometers. Another person took this longer path. His displacement is also 5 kilometers. What is the distance? What is the difference between them? The distance covered. The first person covered lesser amount of distance. The second person covered more amount of distance. So that is why a question will come for 2 mark that explain distance is path dependent, but displacement isn't. ওকে আমি এখন মুখে কথাগুলো বলতেছি জেনারেলি আমি এগুলো বোর্ডে লিখে দিই বাট এখন মুখে মুখে বলতেছি because this class is being recorded, right? So after the class, when I provide you the video, you can replay it and hearing it. Okay, you pause. When you hear it, you pause, you write, then again you play the video, you can write again, so you can take the notes later. That is why I write on the board less now. Okay, I speak so that you can hear it again and again. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so another question might come like this: differentiate between distance and displacement. So there also you have to write the definition. Okay, then you have to write that distance is scalar quantity and displacement is vector quantity, and you may give examples of both of them. Okay, you may draw a diagram and explain it through that. So this is also for 2 marks. Okay, and then another question might come that explain why distance is a scalar quantity and displacement is vector quantity. You can explain it the way I explained. Okay, and if anyone is having any doubt, let us say you wrote the answer of this one based on what you understood from the class. Okay, but you are not sure that whether you will get full marks or your explanation is proper or not. Then what you can do, you can send your answer. You take a picture, send me through WhatsApp. I will check it and give feedback to you. Okay, no problem. Acha. Then we have speed. The next topic that we have, speed and velocity. Speed, it is distance divided by time, and velocity, it is displacement divided by time. From here, you should be able to say that between speed and velocity, which one is a scalar quantity?
Its distance is a scalar quantity and displacement is vector quantity.
So distance is related to speed. As distance is a scalar quantity, speed is also a scalar.
A scalar quantity.
Displacement, it is a vector quantity, and displacement is related to velocity. So velocity, it is a vector quantity. Okay.
Yes.
So we got which one is
Definitely.
scalar, which one is vector, but why? Let us try to understand. If I ask you, we all have rode in the car sometime in our life, right? So when the car is moving, the car is moving at a particular speed, and that speed we can see in the speedometer, right? If we are going
Yes.
per hour, or if we are going at 60 km per hour, we can see it. So the value, the magnitude that we get from the speedometer, that is the speed. Okay, the speed is only the magnitude. But if I want a full details about the movement of the car, I need the direction too, right? Let us say I have a particular body here, and I told you that the velocity of this body is 5 meters per second. Okay, 5 meters per second. But this is not a complete information, because I don't know in which direction the body is moving. Okay, the body is moving in this direction, in this direction, in this direction, or in this direction. There is a question of direction, in which direction it is moving. Now, why it is important to know the direction? Now, let us say in physics, inshallah, we will discuss about several numerical problems where you will have to find out after 5 seconds where the body is going to be. A body is moving at a certain speed. After 5 seconds, where it is going to be. So if you want to find out the location, you must know in which direction it is moving. If it is moving in this direction, then you know that after 5 seconds, it is going to be someplace here, right? But
Yes, sir.
if it is a falling body, then you know that after it is going to be somewhere down, right? So direction is important. So whenever we mention the magnitude, this numerical value, and also the direction, that time it is velocity. And when we mention only the speed, means the magnitude 60 km per hour. You know,
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me.
Bolo?
Just
Okay. So as we said already, if you're talking about speed only, so we will mention the magnitude only. Direction is not required. But while we're talking about the velocity, we have to mention the direction also. That 5 meters per second in the east direction or west direction, something like this. Okay. Acha. Okay. Then the next topic is, okay. So now that we know what speed is, Actually, we already had a little bit of idea about speed from beforehand, right? Because we use this word in our daily life. So in physics, we will talk about two type of speed. Okay, one is average speed, one is instantaneous speed. Average speed means the speed of the whole journey. So if you are asked to calculate the average speed, you may just divide the total distance. Okay, this is total distance divided by total time.
Yes.
Let us say you went from your house to school. Okay, the distance you have covered is 10 kilometers, and it took, let us say, 2 hours to reach. Okay, generally this amount of time you don't take. Okay, so what is the speed? If I tell you to calculate the speed, the distance, total distance that you have covered is 10 kilometers, and the total time that you have taken is 2 hours. So your speed will be 5 kilometers.
5.
Okay, we will
5
write
seconds.
5 kilometers per hour. Per
Oh,
hour
per
is
hour.
1 hour. In 1 hour, you are going 5 kilometers. That is why in 2 hours, you will go 10 kilometers, and then you will reach your school. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yes.
that is about the total journey. Now let us talk about
Yes.
instantaneous speed. Now when you are going from your house to school, okay?
Excuse me, sir.
You are riding in a car. Yes.
Mm. Excuse me, sir.
Yes. You want to ask any question?
I have a question. We have divided 10 kilometer by 2 hours. Then we rode 5 kilometer. The minus one means is the meaning of minus one over.
Okay. This is something actually you didn't learn yet. Yes. Every year actually I face this question. Whenever I write it in this way, I face this question. Inshallah, you will get to learn it in mathematics when you get to exponent and logarithm chapter. But let me tell you now, what does it mean actually? Generally, I was supposed to write it in this way, kilometer per hour. Okay, this one can be written as kilometer hour inverse 1. Inverse means minus 1 is 1. Okay, now what does this mean? In exponential logarithm chapter, you will learn this, that if you have 1 by x to the power 1, then you can write it in this way, x to the power minus 1. If you have 1 by x to the power 2, you can write it x to the power minus 2. If you have 1 by x to the power 100, you can write it x to the power minus 100. Understood?
Oh, okay. Yes, sir.
In this way. Let us say if you have 1 by x to the power guru, then you can write it x to the power minus guru.
Yeah. Yes.
So whatever power you will have here, you can write it as inverse. Okay? So
yes, sir.
We have a detailed explanation, but that inshallah you will get to know about when you study the exponent chapter. Okay, as this is physics class, I will prefer not to go into details. Okay, inshallah.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so this is 5 kilometer per hour. Okay, we can write it in this way. We will come across the unit of speed as meter per second. Okay, so this one we can write it, if you want, meter second inverse. The power of it will be -1. Okay, ms inverse 1. This is the unit of average speed. Now, as I was saying, let us talk about instantaneous speed now. Okay, now while you are traveling from your house to the school by car, sometimes your car will have a high velocity, sometimes it will have a very low velocity, and sometimes it will have to stop at the signal, right? So sometimes the velocity is 0 and sometimes the velocity is, okay, so sometimes the velocity will be high. So instantaneous speed means what is the velocity at this moment. Let us say you are going to the school, and at a particular moment you looked at the speedometer and it is saying that the speed of the car is 80 kilometer per hour now. So 80 kilometer per hour, it is the speed at this moment, at this instant. Instantaneous means at this moment. Okay, so the whole journey is consist of several instantaneous speed. When it is time t is equal to 1 second, you will get a speed. When after 1 second, you might get a different velocity. So for every second or every minute, the velocity is changing, right? So at a particular moment,
Yes.
speed that you have, that is the instantaneous speed, the speed of a particular moment. Okay, so you can write the speed of a particular moment. So when you looked at the speedometer, you saw that it is showing 80 km per hour. So that is the speed of this moment. So this is the instantaneous speed of this moment. Then, after 5 minutes, again, you looked at the speedometer. Now it is showing that the speed is 60 km per hour. So it's 60 km per hour. It is the instantaneous speed of that moment. Understood? Whenever you are looking at it, the speed you are seeing, it is the speed of that moment. So throughout the journey, in every moment, there will be so many instantaneous speed, right? Sometimes the speed will be 100, sometimes the speed will be 0,
Yes.
50, 60, something like that. So in a journey, there are, uncountable number of instantaneous speed, but average speed is only one. For the whole journey,
Yeah.
total distance divided by total time. So for the whole journey, we will have only one average speed, but instantaneous speed, we will get so many. Did you understand the concept?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We
Sir, can
understand.
you explain once again about instantaneous speed?
Instantaneous speed, it is the speed of this moment.
Yeah.
If I tell you, let us say, you are running with, smartwatch in your hand. I guess we have less than 1 minute. Acha, okay, no problem. So I will provide you the recording, go through the recording. If you still have doubt, please remind me at the beginning of the next class. I will discuss this topic of instantaneous speed again. No problem. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.